Have you ever noticed that the ones who give the most cry the hardest when no one's watching? That the kindest heart often carry the heaviest pain? We live in a world where the people who smile the brightest sometimes fight battles no one will ever know. And today, I want to share with you a truth that is rarely spoken. Why people suffer in silence, why their pain feels endless, and why if you don't give up, this suffering would not be the end of your story. In today's world, a man can give everything to his family, work until his bones ache, and still be called useless. A woman can sacrifice her dreams for everyone else, pray until her knees hurt, and still feel abandoned. The truth is, this world doesn't always reward kindness, it tests it. And maybe right now, you know that feeling. You give your best to your family, to your friends, and even to God, yet still feel invincible. You do everything right, and life still feels unfair. But hear me, that's not weakness. That is the silent weight of goodness, and the fact that you carry it proves how strong your heart is truly. People often think silence means peace, but that's not always true. Sometimes, silence means the pain is too heavy for words. You smile in front of others, but when you are alone, the tears come. The danger thing about silent pain is this: nobody knows when you are breaking. Nobody claps for your endurance. Nobody sees the night you stayed awake, battling thoughts you couldn't even explain. And the hardest part, the world often doesn't listen, unless your pain eventually turns into success. But let me ask you, have you ever been in a situation where you just wish someone or anyone could see how strong you are being? You wish they could see the moment you have survived without applause. If you said yes, then you already know the invincible battles that so many people out there are fighting daily. Here's the truth most people don't want to accept. Life doesn't test you alone when you have done something wrong. It often puts you through pain, even when you have done everything right. You look at yourself and ask, where are all these problems coming from? Why me? But if you look at history, you will see the pattern. The ones who changed the world were the ones who endured in silence. Mothers who raised their children alone. Fathers who worked jobs they hated just to put food on the table. Leaders who were mocked before they were ever celebrated. People who forgive when they had every reason to hate. These are the ones who get tested the most, not because they are weak, but because their story has the power to light the way for others. Maybe you have prayed, and it feels like heaven is silent. You have done everything right, and still nothing seems to work. But hear me carefully. Faith doesn't remove pain. It gives you strength to walk through it. You are not just cursed because you are suffering. Suffering alone is not proof of blessing. Failure alone is not proof of rejection. Some of the greatest stories in history began with rejection, delay, and brokenness. Think about Job in the Bible. He lost his job, everything, health, wealth, even family. His friends thought he was cursed, but his story didn't end in ashes. In his darkest season, his faith built a foundation for generations. Your story may feel like Job's right now. It may be delayed, it may feel forgotten, but as long as you are still breathing, you cannot be denied. The world will try to break you, people will try to lose you, and sometimes your own thought will tell you to quit. But listen to me, if you stop here, then the suffering was wasted. But if you rise, if you keep going despite the pain, then your story becomes hope for someone else. Your scars become proof that healing is possible. And that is why light tests the good ones. Because in a dark world, someone needs to see light. And that light is your story. So to the ones listening right now, the one who feels invincible, tired, or maybe forgotten, you are not weak. You are not useless, and you are not alone. The silent battles are building a strength to the world we only one day recognize. And when that day comes, the same people who overlooked you will look back and say, "How did you survive all that?" And you will smile because you know the truth. You were never walking alone. So hear me carefully. Don't quit. You are closer to the light than you think. And if this message spoke to your heart, don't just keep it. Share it with someone else who is fighting silently too, because the hope you felt could be the very thing keeping them alive